How's it going, Eliminators? Today, we're going to be having a look at ultrasonic cleaners, why I use them, and why you could use one too. So let's get right into it. So I'm just in the back of my shop here, and this is my little ultrasonic cleaning kind of work table that I've set up here for myself. You guys are going to notice that I have two different ultrasonic cleaners here. So this one's a 6-liter, and this one is a 3-liter. This one has digital controls. This one has manual controls. I haven't really found that makes a difference, although the clock spring on these little dials can sometimes go out, so that when you're trying to time a clean, if the clock spring breaks, then you would only be able to set it to the on position, and then you'd have to basically come back in a certain amount of time and shut it off yourself. Now, both the 3-liter and the 6-liter ultrasonic cleaners have built-in heaters. However, I do not use those. So there's a heating element, and you can turn them on, and then you could set your temperature. So that's in Celsius, so that one goes up to 80 degrees. Now, I don't recommend using the heaters because I've seen these things overload, and they end up burning out resistors and diodes, and I'll get to that in a bit. But what I do now is I just have a little towel here with just a kitchen kettle. You fill that up with water, and you guys can see here that this one goes to a max of about 1.7 liters. Then I come over here to, let's say, my 3-liter, and I'm going to open that up, and it'll be just enough for me to go ahead and fill up the 3-liter to just over halfway, right? So 1.7 liters to a 3-liter capacity. So now I have boiling water in there. Then I put a couple ounces of my cleaner, which I'll get into as well. And then I can go ahead and add up a little bit of room temperature water to fill it up to the point where it's just over top of a carburetor, because you want to fully submerge whatever you're cleaning. So if we had two different carburetors here, one is a little tiny weed eater carburetor, I could drop that in and you guys are going to see it's fully submerged. So that would be pretty much the perfect liquid height. I wouldn't have to add any more. Now, if you have carburetors that are a little bit bigger, you guys are going to see that, well, it's going to stick out a little bit. You're going to get a lot of gunk that gets blasted off of these carburetors. And if you have the fluid line, you guys can see it right there, what's going to happen is all of that gunk is actually going to stick to wherever that water line is there. And you're going to have to clean that off maybe with like a toothbrush or something. So in order to prevent that, just make sure that your carburetor is fully submerged. Now you're going to notice that both of these ultrasonic cleaners have baskets. So we're going to start off with this one. This is a hanging basket. So it just hangs off of the top and it floats. So the bottom of the basket does not touch the bottom of the ultrasonic cleaner. So it's just hanging in there. Whereas in the 6-liter, it's a little bit bigger. This is a submergible basket here, and you guys are going to notice that it has some little rubber shoes on the bottom of it. So this one sits on the bottom of the tank. Not sure if that makes a big difference, but I know that you never want to use an ultrasonic cleaner with a part inside of it without the basket, because how an ultrasonic cleaner works is there's little vibrational motors on the bottom of these tanks. Now, this one here has 2 of them, and the 6-liter here has 3 of them. And if you put a carburetor inside of your ultrasonic cleaner to clean it without using your basket, what'll happen is that carburetor that you put in there will be vibrating against the base of, I guess, what you could call the tub of the ultrasonic cleaner, and it could end up breaking the connection of that vibrational motor to the base of that tub, and your ultrasonic cleaner won't work as good. And if you break the other ones, let's say there's 2 on this one, if you break one, you're basically down to 50% of your cleaning power. So you break the other one, then your ultrasonic cleaner's no good anymore. Now, these are all Amazon cleaners. This one cost $165, and this one cost $265. Now, are they worth that cost? Absolutely. Like I clean carburetors pretty much every day, all day, and these things are running constantly. Now, here's the thing. They do heat up, and they do overload. They do burn out diodes and resistors. So I'm going to get into that a little bit. So I have a 6-liter ultrasonic cleaner here. This is a digital one as well. And up here in this box, I have another 6-liter ultrasonic cleaner. You guys can see there the model number is a PS-30A. Now, the nice thing about these 6-liter cleaners is that they do have a drain. So when you're sitting it on a workbench, you can open up the drain, and if you wanted to, you could hook a tube into a pail, at the bottom of your workbench, and it makes draining them super easy. However, these blow out and break pretty much all the time. And this ultrasonic cleaner isn't the one from this box right here. Believe it or not, there is another 6-liter ultrasonic cleaner in there. So that's 3 of them that I've gone through in the past, I'm going to say about 6 years. And these things cost $265 a piece. However, I was refunded for this one because it went out after only 28 days of using it, and Amazon has a 30-day hassle-free return. So I got lucky on this one. This one lasted, I believe, 6 months. It was a little bit longer, but I'm no expert on circuit boards, so I can't really tell you too much in depth. However, there are circuit boards in the bottom of these here, and inside of that circuit board, there's going to be diodes, there's going to be resistors, and they overload because these things are made in China. So they use cheap parts. I bring these to a circuit board guy, and what he does is he takes the bottom off of them, he pulls the circuit board out of them, and he heats up the solder and removes the diodes and the resistors, and he upgrades them. And normally it's about $70. The parts are very inexpensive though. You could buy diodes and resistors for like, 50 cents. But for the labor, I think it was like $70. He rebuilt the circuit board in here. And when I got it back, it was even louder and cleaned carburetors even better. However, even getting this thing rebuilt by my circuit board guy, it ended up only lasting a few more months anyways. So as far as I know, these things are pretty much replaceable and disposable. But because I'm in the small engine repair business, I'm cleaning carburetors every single day, and I'm using my ultrasonic cleaners to do that. So I can't afford to not have one. So I have parts now. I have extra baskets here and any kind of part that I would need for my other ultrasonic cleaners, because even if they're a different brand, these 6-liter ones are pretty much all built the same, and they're going to look identical. They're going to have the same drain on it, and they're going to have the same basket in them. Now, these ultrasonic cleaners do have specific frequencies, so that's going to be the vibrational frequency. This one right here is 40 kilohertz. It runs on 180 watts of power, and the hot power is going to be 200 watts. Now, whenever I do a video and I show my ultrasonic cleaner, I always get asked, what kind of cleaner do I use? Well, here are the 2 main cleaners that I use. This on the right is Indo 701. It's an industrial grade detergent that's concentrated. You guys are going to see that it's a multi-purpose cleaner and degreaser, and it is made by Flexo Products, and I get that out of Niagara Falls, Ontario. That stuff there works awesome to strip down pretty much the worst carbs that I have. However, it is a little stinky, and it's also slightly corrosive. So if you're not careful, and if you leave an aluminum carburetor inside of your cleaner with some of that Indo 701, it will actually start to eat away at the aluminum a little bit. It won't ruin the carburetor, but it definitely darkens them. So you can tell that it's really starting to strip away pretty much anything on the surface of that carb. On the flip side of that, I have some Simple Green here. You guys are going to notice that it says Safer Choice. Simple Green is an industrial cleaner and degreaser similar to the Indo 701. However, this one here is non-toxic and is 100% biodegradable and eco-friendly. So if you wanted to, you could basically clean a carburetor and then take some of that and dump it on your lawn, and it's not going to kill your grass. It's completely biodegradable and safe for the environment. This stuff doesn't clean as good as the Indo 701 because it doesn't strip away a lot of that stuff on the outside of a carburetor. So basically I just have a look at a carburetor and I judge which one I think I should use depending on how bad the carburetor looks. Now I have a clip of one of these things running, and you guys can see that basically you're not going to see anything other than some stuff floating to the surface and dissolving off of the carburetor because it's almost like an invisible effect. The way these work is they have, like I said, the motors at the bottom, and they create vibrations. And if I turned one on, it's actually going to distort the audio of my camera here. You guys can see all the stuff being blasted off of the basket. So that's pretty much some old fluid that we have in there. We've been cleaning carbs. And again, just to show you guys how well these ultrasonic cleaners work, this is what came out of a carburetor that I cleaned yesterday. Unbelievable how much stuff can get into a carb. This was from, an old Honda that had been sitting for quite some time. All of this in here So again, there's quite a bit of stuff that can come out of these here carburetors, and cleaning them with carb cleaner, you know, it works. If you're on a budget, you got to make sure they're, you know, properly cleaned. But at the end of the day, you just can't beat these ultrasonic cleaners. This is a good time to transition over to this right here, just a little glass jar. But if we're cleaning carburetors, there's going to be a main jet, distribution tube, there could be the pilot jet as well. So we like to put them inside of here, and then we thread on this cap on the top. It's got a couple holes in it, so it allows the fluid to get in, but it doesn't allow the parts like the jets to get out. So what we can do is we can go ahead and take that, transfer it into our ultrasonic cleaner, and then the little main jet and the pilot jet isn't floating around at the bottom of the ultrasonic cleaner. Because again, on these 3 liters, they don't have the drain. So you actually have to lift this up, take it to wherever you're going to drain it, and dump it out. And if you had little parts laying around in the bottom, well, once the fluid gets a little dirty, it's going to be hard to see. And you always want to have a look at the bottom of your tank to make sure that there isn't little tiny O-rings or gaskets that fell off of a carburetor. So that's just something to think about. You know, if you're using an ultrasonic cleaner, it's always nice to have one of these little cleaning canisters here. And this is made out of thick glass, so it's not going to crack. You know, there's no issues that we've had so far, but it's nice to use something like that to keep all your jets organized. And you can pick that up at pretty much any houseware stores. And I think that is made for probably spices or something. You guys can see here we also have just a little strainer, big spoon, I guess you could say. So if we want to go in and lift out a part, then we could lift the part out and all the fluid drains out like that. So it's nice to have something like that, as well as a little toothbrush here. You guys can see this one looks pretty gnarly. You don't want to be brushing your teeth with this, but if we had to go in and rough up a little area on a carburetor to get it clean and just help break up some of the debris, it's always nice to have one of these handy just so you can go ahead and do that as well. So what I'll show you here is going to be a carburetor that's just completely filled with crystallized fuel. So this is old broken down fuel, and you're going to think that there's no way an ultrasonic cleaner could clean all of that off. Yet we flip over to the after picture and it's quite clear that the ultrasonic cleaner is definitely worth it in this case. So it blasted all of that old broken down fuel off of the carburetor and it pretty much looks brand new. Same here with this smaller dirt bike carb. It looks like it has a little bit of wet mud onto it. And we flip over to the after picture and you're going to see that it is clean. Now that's one that I ended up leaving in overnight and came out the next morning. So that's the darker aluminum color that you're going to see there. Again, it's not damaged the carburetor. It just kind of eats away at the surface just a little bit because it is slightly corrosive. So you're going to want to take that into consideration when you're using your cleaner. And I would like to point out that, you know, if you go ahead and buy an ultrasonic cleaner, don't think that an ultrasonic cleaner is going to get a carburetor perfectly clean 100% all the time. Now, it happens more on dirt bike and ATV carburetors. So a customer will take the dirt bike or ATV carb off and bring it to me for cleaning. And I'll notice that, you know, I'll run it in a cleaner for, like I said, however long. The ultrasonic cleaner just won't blast that stuff off. So in that case, I use what's known as a soda blaster. I have a video of myself setting this up. I would highly recommend one of these. Basically, you just hook this up to your compressor and you fill up the hopper with soda bicarbonate. And I have some buckets here filled with that. Basically, it's just thick baking soda. That's all it is. So it's completely biodegradable, 100% dissolvable in water. And if you want to see that video, I can link it in the top right of your screen. But basically, I use one of these to go ahead and blast a carburetor, and that's going to strip all of the baked on stuff that's on a carburetor. Then I'll transfer a carb that's been soda blasted into my ultrasonic cleaner and let the ultrasonic cleaner blast away any of the other stuff that could be on there. Once again, the soda bicarbonate is 100% water soluble, which means all of the soda bicarbonate residue that's still on the carburetor or inside of the carburetor will end up dissolving in the fluid. And then you can go ahead and, you know, do a rinse afterwards, and the carburetors come out looking pretty much brand new. I can show you guys a before and after of some dirt bike and ATV carburetors that I've done. The difference is insane how good it works, the combination of using a soda blast and an ultrasonic cleaner versus just using the ultrasonic cleaner. Now, just something to point out here, if you are looking at doing ATV or dirt bike carburetors, the carburetors are much bigger than your average chainsaw or lawnmower carburetor. So you're going to want a 6-liter ultrasonic cleaner to do those carburetors, and that's why I have one specifically to do those. The 6-liter uses a lot more fluid, so you're going to have to take that into consideration because you're going to have to fill it up with double the amount of cleaning solution that you would use in the smaller one. So if I'm using 2.5 ounces, now you're going to be using almost 5 ounces of cleaner. So not only do you have a higher cost to purchase the cleaner, but you're going to be going through more cleaning solution, and you're also going to have to fill this up with more boiling water. So there are drawbacks to that. You'll have to take that into consideration. If you're looking at purchasing an ultrasonic cleaner though, and you're just doing small carburetors for lawnmowers and chainsaws and stuff like that, you do not need a 6-liter cleaner. You can go ahead and get yourself a 3-liter and it should work just fine. Now, as far as how well these ultrasonic cleaners clean, that all depends on a lot of things. How long you're going to run them and how hot the fluid is. So like I said, I use the kettle to heat up the water, and I get that water to pretty much boiling point, and then I transfer that into my ultrasonic cleaner so that I am not using the heater core. Once I have my boiling water in there and I put in, I'd say about 2.5 ounces of cleaner, I go ahead and I run these things for about 10 to 15 minutes. I've never ran them longer because you're gonna want to let these things cool down a little bit. You know, you don't want to be running them for too long because they do heat up. You know, run them for 10 or 15 minutes or so, and then let them cool down a bit. And then if you still have some more cleaning to do because the carb's not as clean as you'd like it to be, you can go ahead and run it for another 10 or 15 minutes. And then while you're cleaning your carburetor, instead of having some downtime, you can go ahead and, I don't know, change the oil on a machine, or, clean up the deck, sharpen and balance a blade, pretty much do anything while that ultrasonic cleaner is working, because now you're not cleaning it by hand. Now, like I said, these ultrasonic cleaners can get a little pricey. So for somebody that's just getting into small engine repair, an ultrasonic cleaner may be out of your budget. But if you think of how busy you are and how many carbs you're cleaning, if you have to go out and keep buying carburetor cleaner all the time, these things go for about $6.99 a can here in Canada, depending on the size of the can. You're going to be spending a fortune on carb cleaner, and you're going to be spending more time cleaning your carburetor using carb cleaner and doing it the old-fashioned way, because if a carb's real bad, you might have to let it soak in a jar of carb cleaner overnight, whereas you can just put it into a ultrasonic cleaner and clean it, and within 10 or 15 minutes that carb is done, and in the meantime you've already done a full service on a lawnmower. Now, I had mentioned that those ultrasonic cleaners cost about $265 for the 6-liter one and $165 for the 3-liter one. And if you're thinking that's pretty pricey, there are ultrasonic cleaners that are medical grade that you can buy that cost well over $1,500. So you're going to be spending over $1,000 on an ultrasonic cleaner, and they don't really have warranties that are any much better than the ones that I buy from China on Amazon here in Canada. So you got to think from an investment standpoint, these things are only lasting me anywhere from a month to 6 months, let's say. And then on top of that, I'm going to have to get them rebuilt. And normally you can only get them rebuilt once. I know that 3-liter one has lasted about 8 years, believe it or not, and it has been rebuilt. However, the 6-liter ones broke on me. The vendor from Amazon was kind enough to send me another one. So I only had $265 into now 2 of them for the 6 liters. I spent another $140 to get them both rebuilt, and then I used both of them and they both went on me, I think, within a few months after that. So again, I was putting lots of money into them, but at the same time, they're making me money because I'm cleaning carbs literally all day, every day, because that's the business that I'm in. The one that I have now, you're gonna notice it's a CO-Z, the CO-Z. I've noticed that a couple other small engine repair channels here on YouTube are using that brand as well. I bought that one. It was about the same, $265. I've been using it for a few months now, so who knows? Let's see how long it lasts, and maybe I'll do a little update video, because like I said, guys, these things are pretty much replaceable. But that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, think about leaving me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. You can click here to subscribe and click over here to watch one of my previous videos. I upload every single week, so be sure to stop on by next week. Check the channel out for new content. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.